Okay, let's start this video from out here. I'm going to start with this crack. That is a step crack. Zigzags on those bricks. That is evidence of the foundation subsiding, probably this area, falling down. And that is further evidenced by this crack that starts here, runs all the way along to this point. What that means is foundation is most likely cracked all the way, to be honest. They don't just randomly stop at a wall like that. That's subsidence is largely assisted by the fact that the poor drainage of the whole property. But what's key here is that is a point of ingress for the water. So as you look around, you'll see a lot of water and water stains. There's 3 ways water gets into this garage. The first, under this door. That is why you will see, despite this having been cleaned, all of this mud and dirt that has come in since the last week, basically. We have a point of ingress somewhere in here. We have a point here. So, all of that brown gross shit, in fact you can actually see water in it now. That is not dry. So water actually rises up through the foundation, through this crack, and then all the way along, out. These damp spots, they are, again, where water is coming up through the concrete, or by this point of egress that comes in along here and pools just here and here. So, point there, the foundation is shit, and that is causing water to come into the garage area. The concern seems to be this wall here, and the articulation seems to be that we have somehow caused this damage. Now, my partner has pointed out that the plumbing is on the right-hand side, not the left, and that doesn't make sense, but let's humour them. Here, you can see the plumbing runs behind the garage. We're going to go into that cavity in a moment, but you'll notice no leaks, nothing like that. Here, you'll notice the water is coming out of the wall. Here, you'll see the paint and that is bubbling up along that wall. So, let's go into the cavity and see what that looks like. Now, this cavity is odd. When I enter, the first thing I notice is it's damp, mildewy, very gross. But if you look along here to where my feet are, all the way along, you will see one poorly implemented French drain. Here is a sump pump. That sump pump pumps the water out of that hose, around and down and out there. You will see that this wood is rotting. The wood is rotting because of the damp. So, let's go in to this sump pump. Sorry, to this thing. Now, this is what's fascinating. This here is waterproofing. Why does it stop? Opposite this wall is the bathroom that we were just in. So we have waterproofing along this wall, clearly implemented, put in somewhat recently when they've put in the French drain, but it stops there. Sorry, it goes a little bit past it, not all the way. So, through there, you will see the backing of that, the backing of the bathroom. Also, here's the wiring I need to watch out for because it's all fucking live. Okay, so you can see water clearly runs here. There's a pattern there. This is all soft and moist mud. And that is a porous, unsealed brick wall. Now, a few questions come to mind. How does the water get here? The answer to that is it's seeping through these edges, these bricks. Yeah. In all honesty, it's a bit surprising that there isn't more mud. Okay. See that line? That line is moisture. So along the whole back wall of that bathroom, we have a poorly implemented French drain weeping moisture into the bricks, through the wall, into the skirting board. No waterproofing, not even an attempt at it. And they're trying to pin us as if we've caused water damage to their walls, when the reality is this is just an absolute shit show. I'm going to get out of here before I get some kind of mold issue, but like this is so damp and mildewy. It's just wild to try and accuse us of causing water damage when it's just plain. Once again, to remove any doubt, I just want to be really clear about this. Look at that moisture. Look at it. Okay. So, look at that moisture. At least the wild bit is that they waterproof this bit. Like, now, theoretically, what is meant to happen? Theoretically, the water that enters this cavity is meant to get pumped out. The pump isn't powerful enough. The pump isn't powerful enough, and this area floods. And it floods into here, out, just like everything else. So, when they come along and they try and accuse us of causing this water damage, I think it needs to be plain and obvious that this is not coming. I think it is plain and obvious. This is coming from a poorly implemented French drain in the cavity, not from our use of the premises. Now, you can see a bunch of rust. That rust is caused by the flooding. Because if you put anything steel on concrete and then you wet it every time it rains, that's what's going to happen. More water damage there again. These curtains were a real pain to keep clean, by the way. Like, I had to put significant effort into that. Oh yeah, let's talk about why you can't seal this garage. Just while I have the camera going. So we get accused, oh, the garage is dirty, and I keep saying, cool, what am I meant to do about that? Now, I want you to look right at that edge. See how that opens up? See how that whole top of that window is not sealed? There's similar things all along that area. If I get the angles right, you will see daylight. But probably the most interesting one is this. See that daylight up there? That's not normal. That's very, very far from normal. That is a massive open hole in the garage. Just let this open. Oh. This is the other side. I can get a toddler through that hole. like, just for the sake of clarity, like, so you can see what's happening here. So, this garage is routinely dirty. There is not a single thing an occupant can do about it. Not unless they want to go and fix the water seeping up through the cracked foundation, deal with the shitty French drain, fix the flooding in the backyard, etc., etc. See, this is part of the problem. Basically, the water comes down here, erodes that away, soaks in under the foundation, underneath the house, into that cavity, and through these cracks. Oh. Something tells me I'll be playing this at QCAT. Let's see how that goes.